Hello friends, welcome to Intuites.
Let's begin the class.
My screen also is visible, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now we discuss few things yesterday, like theory questions. What is big data? How it got evolved? How the architecture of Hadoop works, and why we will. There is a problem on the Hadoop side, so we are not using right now. So now understand another few things like the database, data warehouse, and another technology will come now into the cloud. This for the data lake. Okay. So let's try and understand that what exactly the database is all about, what is data warehouse, and what is the data lake. Okay. So I can say most probably the database and the data warehouse is so more of a same traditional system, right? Can somebody tell me what the difference between database and data warehouse? If somebody knows that.
Data warehouse is the collection of database.
And what is database?
It's a collection of data.
Mm, okay. So data warehouse, you're saying that it's a collection of multiple database. Okay. What else? Any other thoughts, guys?
One should be database is operational and data warehouse is analytical, where you analyze everything.
Yeah,
And
that's correct. So the first point which Nitya said that data warehouse is a collection of multiple database. That could be wrong. Yes, possibility that the data warehouse will get the data from multiple databases. It will be stored. Like one data is coming from HR, one coming from sales, all the information from different databases, and we can store it. It's not a collection, rather it stores that. So if I take an example of a banking system, okay, so daily transaction you are doing, right? So whatever the account daily transaction is happening, so that is for the transactional system where your account details, your balance, everything will be stored. Okay. And there's some limitation is there. Suppose you want to get the bank statement for last 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, right? So directly we can't get it from our normal net banking or internet banking. That's how we'll get it from there. Because that is a pure transactional system, which is storing the daily transaction, right? So for that, there will be another system will be there that is called the analytical system, where it will keep history. Okay, it will keep history normally, and this analytical system can be taken from different transaction system. It can be more than one transaction system, and finally it will convert to a analytical system, which is called the data warehouse. Okay, but traditionally what happens is in analytical system, the way it works is it will first extract the data, okay, then will load, then finally it will transfer. Sorry, not I'm sorry, wrong. It will be first extract, then transform, then it will load. It will take the data from multiple systems and whichever the transformation is required. Like last class we saw in the pandas also. We extracted, we did a join, that is called a transformation. Then we will finally load into the destination. Right? This is the way it works. This is the traditional flow. But nowadays, uh, the modern cloud system, right, works on a principle of ELT. ELT, different. This is ETL, this is ETL. Extract, transformation, and load. But nowadays, things are getting changed. ELT. Extract, load, then transform. Extract, load, then transform. That's for our. Okay. And this procedure is available inside my data lake. So as of now, we'll discuss completely about the data lake and everything. If I say what exactly it is, data lake is something like the database from the cloud. If I literally define this terminology, data lake is something like it's a database from the cloud. Second, it works on a principle of extract, load, and transform. So what will have? It will extract it from whatever the source and dump it as it is. Okay, without doing anything, it will dump it to the database. And finally, as per my requirement, I will start transforming that. That is the way it works. Okay, and data lake is used for storing huge amount of data because this is on the cloud, right? And we will use this data lake concept in big data always. Like in big data, everything will be stored inside a data lake, and this database is nothing but called the cloud database, which was there in the cloud. Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah, Samir, can you give some practical example for
What
this?
factor? What factor in the
For
cloud? We'll do it.
extract, load and transform?
We will do it on the cloud. I've just started up. I've not started anything. This is just a theory question I'm just covering up first. When I go to the Azure Cloud, Databricks, ADF, all the stuffs, there we will get the data. Like, don't worry, we'll do it. Multiple things we'll do. And I'm very frankly, I'm putting a star mark here. Please cover your complete, sorry, not cover, complete your Python and SQL. If there is any backlog, please complete it as soon as possible. Does that make sense? How many members we have in the class now?
Vidya here.
Who else?
Jaya here.
Anita here.
Who else? Now let me try and understand. One, let me put it into a data engineering flow. Just overview on this, like how you guys will work. So let's take you have multiple sources. Okay. Source one, source two, source three, let's take source four as well. So there are multiple source systems are there. Okay. Fine. So this is my sources. Okay, this is my sources. So just think like there are multiple sources from where I want to get the data. Okay. Now I will first of all I will start as per the process. It will be ELT. So I will load this data. Let's try to. So the load process is called in a terminology in our data engineering world that is called your data ingestion. Data ingestion is nothing but the loading of the data. Okay. And since we are more into the Azure world, the Azure cloud, we will work on the completely on the Azure world. Okay. So this procedure, data ingestion, will be done by a tool called ADF. It's called Azure Data Factory. Okay. And it will store inside the data lake. Okay. And in this case, the data lake is called ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage. So this is what this is. So there is a storage area we have that is in Azure that is called the ADLS. It's called the Azure Data Lake Storage. Okay. Now from here we'll say another terminology will come. So that is your processing of this data. Okay. Computation of this data and transformation also. Okay. All these things we will do inside my Spark cluster. okay, which is nothing but my Azure database. Okay. Then finally, to load wherever it is required. Servicing them wherever you want to service it from there. Output could be anything. It could be any file or it could be loaded to database. So here multiple things are used. Okay. So one tool you are using for the Azure is for Azure Data Factory, ADLS, Azure Databricks, Spark and all. Okay. So this is one of the flow and few things here and there can be changed. Okay. So here, what will happen? So remain same, like multiple sources remain same. ADF will be there. ADLS, actually this is ADLS Gen 2. Okay. Nothing. ADLS. And here, where you are using the Azure Databricks, right? Azure Databricks for your processing and all. Here, one part can be extra. Like, in some project, there will be another flow also. Here, they can use Azure Synapse as well. You can see Azure Synapse. This is for servers. This is for serverless. We'll discuss, no worries. So, either it could be Databricks or it could be Azure Synapse. Okay. And in this one, it could be servicing layer, could be your Azure SQL, or it could be Cosmos DB, or you are just putting into the other DBs which are available inside the database, or it could be any file also, or could be any file system. So this is like a overall architecture which I am giving you, which you guys will be, and your 80 to 70 to 80% time will be spent here, either in the Azure Databricks or Azure Synapse. And these are the supporting elements for you, like to ingest the data and all these things. Okay, all right. Now, any questions? Any questions you guys have? Okay. So this is a data engineering flow of Azure. Okay. Suppose once in a while, if I want to check the other cloud flow, how things will change. We will not discuss that part, but if you suppose you know one cloud, it is quite easy to work on the other cloud as well. Because the concept remains same. Only the UI will change, the options will change, but you can 60 to 70% you can correlate and work on any of the cloud. Okay. So that is the advantage of learning one cloud. So I'm not in a like learn Azure, you can't work on the AWS. You can do that. Okay. So what will change here? The sources will same and the data ingestion which you are doing in the ADF, right? In AWS, I'm not writing there, not create another image for that. So here I am saying multiple sources. Only the tools will change. This is for the AWS. Okay. And it's not fixed as well. Even this is also not fixed. We will see that. So multiple sources and the data ingestion will be done through AWS Glue. There is a software called AWS Glue that we will use there. Okay. Then the storing area, which we are storing at the is saying the data lake, ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage. And when it comes to the AWS, that is called the Amazon S3. This is storage area. Okay. Flow remains same completely. Okay. Here also we have our AWS Databricks. You will ask me the question: this AWS Databricks or Redshift for the processing. Okay, and finally it will store inside my uh, DynamoDB. Okay, so here if we think of like that, there are one common thing is there in these two architecture. Can somebody identify to me this picture and this picture? One thing is common between these two.
Data ingestion.
Data ingestion is common. No, that is everything is stepwise. Everything is common. But I'm saying normally we check the
Databricks.
database is the common. Yeah, that's correct. So here the Databricks is common between these two. So there is an Azure Databricks and there is a AWS Databricks. And even if you go to the Google Cloud, there is also Google Databricks also there. So it means that the Databricks is a company. Okay. So what happened is there are when Spark started. Spark is nothing but it will provide a computation process on a distributed system which will process the data very fast. Right. When the Spark started, okay, it was run by Apache. It is introduced by the company called Apache. So it is called Apache Spark, okay, which is open source. And if you want to work on the traditional Spark, you need to install so many things on your system and so much configuration you need to do so that you can work on the traditional Apache Spark. So what these people will do and done that right, uh, the Spark people only they created a tool, okay, that is called the Databricks. They form a company which is called the Databricks, which will provide the Spark functionality, okay, but in a more different way, okay. And it is not an open source. You need to pay the license for this, pay the license for this, and you need to use it, okay. And the smartest thing what they did is this Databricks tool, which they did it for the Spark, available for all the clouds. Okay, it will be Azure. If if you are running from the Azure, it will be Azure Databricks. If you are running from the AWS, it will be AWS Databricks. If you are running from the Google, it will be Google Databricks. So they make it available this tool throughout the cloud. So your job is if you learn Databricks, you can work on any of the cloud. Only here and there, 3 4 tools will be changed, but your life will be easy. Okay, and this is the trend now, the Databricks. Like if you know that your path is getting opened for multiple jobs, okay, because this is quite new. It's not new actually, but it's quite new actually for everybody. Like to how to work, and slowly people are is going towards the Databricks only because Databricks have the flexibility. You no need to maintain the servers and all. Suppose you are going for a traditional Spark, right? The open source Spark. So you need to decide like how many server I want to use it, how many clusters I need to maintain on my own. Okay. But when you go to Databricks, since it is on cloud, it will provide you all the infrastructure. Okay. Like how many cluster you want, how many servers you want, maintenance wise, everything will be done for you. Your job is to take it and do it your work, the coding system on the Python or whatever. Okay, so that's why the Databricks stands here. Okay, any questions? As for now, we'll see how it looks like all these tools and all, but it is okay. So now, few things which few things is required. Now it is not required, but for an interview perspective, few things are required. Okay, so that I will send it as a theory portion to you and we can't run it that one. So those are two things which is required. One is yours Linux commands, and second is called SDFS command or the Hadoop commands. Why it is required? This is only required from an interview perspective. Okay? Somebody asks you, suppose why I'll tell you. Suppose you are putting a general like 3 years experience or 4 years experience to the big data, right? So they would expect some answer or some things from the Hadoop side. So they could ask some questions on the Hadoop commands and all. So just by heart, just remember that because we don't have a dedicated system and it is not required to like set up any Hadoop and all to work on the commands. I will give you some list of commands, Linux and Hadoop is the case command. Just by heart remember it. Okay, nothing needs to be like here to understand and all. By heart, just remember it, and I will put it what exactly this command will use and what. And any doubt, do let me know after that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, just remember that nothing else needs to be done there. Okay, and that everybody is good on this.
Yes, Samir.
And please do that as well. Okay, it's not like if I give you, you need to keep it in a silos mode. No, please do it immediately. Just complete it. I had just remember. Okay, now just give me a second. We'll start our main thing. Now we will start our journey to the Azure portal. So, what is the link to the Azure? It should be portal.azure.com. Okay. Don't go blindly. I will explain you everything. Okay. So whenever you are doing it, just everybody is listening what I'm trying to say here. So we need to log into the portal.azure.com. This is the like the portal where you can access your Azure cloud. Okay. This is your portal.azure.com. But if I say I have logged in everything here, but that is it could be different from you. Like the screen will be different, blank and everything will come up. But main thing is how to register yourself. Okay. So if you logged into your portal azure.com, you can log in and with a free subscription. There is a free subscription will be there. Do log in there, register yourself. Very simple procedure. But once you log in, it's a free one, but still it will ask you for your credit card details. Why I will tell you. Need to deduct some 1 rupees or something, one amount. Whatever the one amount it is less, it will just deduct it from your account. And the first one. And why it is required? Because the free things will they will give a free space for you. That is more than enough for our class. Okay. And finally, once you reach that limit, why it is given the credit card? Because you will ask through an email saying that whether you want to subscribe this or you want to continue with this subscription. That time you need to pay them. It will be something like that. The first time there will be nothing. Okay. So you do after the class, go there portal.azure.com, register yourself through any Gmail account or anything you have, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, anything you have, do register that so that when you log into this portal.azure.com, you should allow to log. It's the first thing you need to cover up after the class. Okay. Any procedure, if you stuck there, do let me know. Alright. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, this is the when you log into this is the interface of your what do you call the Azure portal. Okay. So the most important topic. Okay, we'll discuss no worries. There is a search button is there. So many components are there. If you click on the all resources from the left. Okay. If you click on the all resources. Uh, all services. So you click on the all services here. If you see there are so many services are there for the Azure. Okay. So let's say you want to work on the database services. So I need to click on the databases. So I will have a n number of options. I have. Okay. If I want to work on, let's take analytics. So I have this many options. I have a Databricks. I have all these options I have. Okay. So depend upon the different. Suppose any networking guy is coming, you will click on the networking. And you will work on the each tool, whatever is available. It's not like you need to know every tool and tools and whatever there in the skill. Okay, that is not the case. So we will work on whatever is required for us. Okay. So but we will work multiple tools here, like so many things. Like we will work the storage, we'll work the Azure SQL, we'll work on the Azure Data Factory, we'll work on Azure Synapse, we'll work on the then keyboards, so many things. Okay. Remember. So the main thing, how my Azure, if you click on the Azure portal, just try and concentrate here, how the hierarchy works here. The first hierarchy, when you log into the portal.azure.com, the first thing is your subscription. Okay. So if you search here on the top, if it is not there anywhere, anyway, my things are totally different because I am using it. Okay. But if you say if you're not searching that one, just click on subscription. Just search for this. If you click on the subscription now, the something will come. So for you, it will be like a free subscription because mine is pay as you go. I have registered for a pay as you go because I need to pay some amount for that. Okay, this I don't have my free version is gone. I'm not using it. I'm right now I'm paying it. Okay, whatever the how much I will use it, that much I will pay it. Okay, so the way that is. So this is the first layer or the hierarchy which will be there, which is called the subscription. It could be free or it would be pay as you go. Okay. Finally, when you click on this page and so it will just show you the last amount when I got generated, I think 3 months back. Okay. Recently, there is no use of the Azure portal right now. This is my personal one, right? So there will be nothing is there. So this much of amount I am paying, but this is also very minimal amount. I can say, not like the very useful things and all. Okay, so this is your subscription. That's the first thing. So suppose I will show you one thing that will be easier. Okay, so let's take create a storage account in the cloud. Let's try it and see. Okay. So if I ask you to storage account, storage, are you following me properly? Now, is this okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Sumit.
So
Some,
yeah. So
sorry to interrupt, Sumit. So I checked it, my account, I created sometime, but for me, it's nothing showing. Okay, for you, it's showing as a pay as you go, right? For me, there is
mhm.
no entry in that. It's not showing any free or something in my subscription. It means
what,
nothing. There is no entry at all.
so what is showing there?
It is nothing is showing. It's a blank. It's just only the headings.
Maybe then it got expired. Just log in with other email ID. I think that is
Oh,
got
other
expired.
email ID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now let's try to create a storage account on the cloud. Yes, I'm clicking on the storage accounts. Okay, now I will create. Let's create this. Click on the create. Now the how the hierarchy works here. First, it will be the subscription, whatever the subscription you have. Second is the resource group. I don't have a resource group. Resource group is something like, just think like, okay, this is just like a folder structure, guys. Suppose you are creating database related stuffs. Create a resource group for that. Let's saying that this is my database resource. Suppose you are creating a analytics related all the things, then create a folder called analytics resource. So that will be easier to maintain, right? So resource group one, resource group two, resource group three. These are all folder. How you are maintaining the folder structure on your system, local system, right? You are not putting everything on a single folder, right? Somebody can go on mute. So it is not like everything I will keep it in one. So it is like just like a literally I can say the folder structure. Okay, where I want to store everything. So something like that. So we will go with the naming convention later, how we will create the resource group, what is the name, and just putting right now. Okay, so just click on this and there is nothing is there. There is no resource group. Okay. So first thing first, once your subscription is ready, okay, so should allow from okay here this thing. We can create a new from here as well. Or directly you can search here resource groups, and you can create your resource group directly from there. Both steps will be same. Okay. Either you can come here and create your resource group, or directly search for that option and create it. Let's create it now. Let's create it. Create and resource group is a container. It's saying that resource group is a container that holds related resources for an Azure system. So I say storage, database, database, storage. Okay, I'll separate this database storage. Created. Okay. Now, once the hierarchy is done, subscription, then my next part is called your folder. This is called my source. Now I need to create my storage account. So the storage account name, I'm just saying that. Let's take it's a test storage. Then I will delete it. It will be all lowercase. Okay. This already taken. See, it is taken by somebody else. So it is over the cloud. No, if somebody is taken it. I can't get it. This is what somebody has taken. So STG. Now, the most important thing is you have to select the region. Okay. So, how you will decide on which region will create your storage? Okay. So it depends. If you are working on a company, then your regions are fixed. Like on that particular region, you need to create, or it will take that only. Suppose you're working on a US East North Virginia, or it could be US West, or depend upon your company geographical location. We need to select that region, okay? Because that where you're paying the amount for that. But since this is a demo purpose, right? You can select anything. Okay. So here I am selecting it's a specific South India because I'm on the southern India side. So I'm selecting that. Okay. You can select your own, whichever is near to you. So you are suppose you are central, you are very near, east is near to you. Just select it because when you are working on the actual demo purpose and all that, the regions should be very near to us, whichever is. So I will go with the approach of SSP South India. Okay. Here, performance wise. Okay. And as you know, in cloud, whatever you are using, that much you will to pay. Okay. It will give you n number of options, but you should be very careful what exactly you want to. Right. So it is something like you want to use it. Yes, boss, you can use it, but please pay the amount for that. So that's what the performance also it works out. So one is the standard performance, one is the premium performance. Okay. So the premium is Azure will take care of all the performance related things. The latency will be not there. The data processing will be faster. Everything, but there will be charge associated. Okay, since we are working on a local system, let's go for the data. Same with the data redundancy as well. One is geo, one is the local. I'll discuss completely, but I'm just going the normal approach right now to create it. Okay. Now let's go the next. Let's don't do anything here. Whereas it's all these things. It's not required. Next, go to next. Networking, data protection, encryption, tags is also not required as of now. Next review. Once it is a review is going on, it's just final validating is done. Once it's validated, everything looks good. Just create it. Okay. And it's just creating deployment is in progress. It is just creating a storage there. Right. So it's ready. It is ready. Now you can go from here directly, or let's click on the subscription. Click on this. And definitely there will be a resources resource provider. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, click on the resources. Okay, if you go to the page, click on the resources. It is not yet come because it is not yet refreshed. It will take some time. Yeah. Now it has come up now. See. This is coming now. So this is my subscription. This is my storage directly under the resource group of database storage. Make sense? Or if you go to the directly your resource group here, it will be another one storage will be there. It is under the subscription this one. And if you click on this, then you will find one storage. And you can have n number of things here, like one storage, one database, one ADF. All the services can be stored inside one resources. Make sense? Live glimpse of how things work here. Got it? Hello?
Yes, Samir, cloud is the data web-based data warehouse, and we don't need physical device like device system connection anything. So for that we are using cloud. So compare with cost, it's much or it's less compare with
It's less.
less.
It's
Yeah.
less. It's less
Okay.
because it's like they will provide a multiple offers also as per organization, and whatever you use it, that much you need to pay it. Okay, it's not like I will use everything because there are n number of people not using. Okay,
Okay, Samir.
so
Yeah, thank you.
that is the one part. Will
Samir, will you repeat once again how did you do the subscription and the storage today? The storage account once more.
once more? Okay, yeah, sure. Let me delete this and come back. Let me delete it and come back. It's still deleting. This is now just gone. There will be no resource group. Anyway, so as I told you, the first if you go to a subscription, it will show you something like it will be free, or in case in my case it is paid. This will come when you register for the portal.azure. You need to register yourself, and there you need to select something that it will work out. And as I told you, in a free version also it will ask for your credit card details. Okay, please make it handy and put it there, and you one amount, $1 or ₹1 in my case, it will be just deducted from your card. That's it. And after that, it will be free. And why it is taking the card? Because the next time when the cycle comes, it will ask you to upgrade yourself. If you don't want, just cancel it. That's it. No need to pay anything from there onwards. So once that is ready, you will have this. Okay. Now under the subscription, if you want to create a storage account, let's create a storage account. So I can search for storage accounts. Okay. Jaya, are you following now?
Yes, Samir. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to click on the storage accounts. Once it is done, you click on the create. It's very simple process in cloud. You need to create the create. And as I told, the hierarchy is something like your subscription, then your resource group. Resource group is something like the folder, as I told you. Suppose you are creating a database related items, so you can create a folder out of that. How you are maintaining your folder on your system, the same way you should maintain the folder in the cloud as well. Okay, so you're saying that project files, personal files, let's take system files or code snippets. So like that, you're creating multiple folders on your local, right? Why? Because to search it faster. Same way, if I want to go faster, I want to create a resource group. Okay, so I will create, in this case nothing is there, so I'll create a resource group here from here, or even directly from here. Anything. I will create a resource group here. So I'll say uh, database storage, something like that. I'm giving a name. Once it is done, then I will get a storage account name here again. Okay, so STG today. Then I will select my region. Then I will click next as of now and just create it. That's it. Okay, as of now, we'll see the options. No worries. So we need to change few things as well. But as of now, if you want to create it, just create it and delete it. Okay, are you good?
Yes.
Yeah, Samir,
Now,
why it asking for the region? Because of the memory allocation or?
and where you register yourself, because when you are taking a cloud license, right, the pay as you go. So as per the company standard, they will select some region based on their availability. Suppose my headquarters is at Atlanta, let's say. So I will use whatever the region could. So that depends which region I will take. So, but in our case, we have a choice. But I would suggest whichever is near to you, choose that because your processing would be faster. Don't use 9 1 because I am near to that. I am using this one. You can use yours, whichever is near. Okay.
Okay, fast access. Okay, Samir, I got it. Thank you.
So now here, since if I go to the this part, we'll start with the first component or the cloud. We'll come later to the ADF and everything. That time I will explain all the cloud operations. First, we'll start with the Azure database because I want to explain because your 80% job will be done on this. Okay, then I will come to the synapse, then I will come to the ADF and all. Because let's start with the Azure database. So, as I told, Databricks is a company which is providing the data or the flexibility tools to both Azure and to the AWS. Different clouds have the Databricks. Now here, if I go here, if I search for the Azure Databricks, it will be there. Okay. But I would suggest, as of now, okay, don't go to the Databricks through Azure Portal. Why? Because this is, if you go with the Azure Databricks through the Azure Portal, then what happens is it is just a 14 days trial for you because it will be that's what it means. Basically, it's a very costly tool. Actually. The licensing cost and everything will be very high. Okay, so they are providing only 14 days trial for you, the Databricks. After that, you will not able to use the database if you go with this. And after that, suppose you want to go for suppose pay as I go, it will be charged also. It will be very much. So I would suggest don't go. We'll check this also, like how the database looks like from here, from the Azure portal. Put the database and see how it looks like. Rather than we have a separate area also that is called the Databricks Community Edition. So just search for the Databricks Community Edition and search for this. So this is the company actually. This is the company which is providing different tools and things and inside the cloud. That's called the Azure Database. But we will start with the Database Community Edition because it is free for 1 year. You can work for 1 year. Yes. Okay. There are some features will be not there in the community edition, which is there on the Azure database that will cover up. Don't worry. But more or less, if you want to work on the database and take a feel of that, it's best to go with the database community edition. Okay. So let's click on the sign in database community edition. I would suggest just create a what do you call it? A new account. Account here. Try database. I think. Sign up. I think. Sign up for the database community edition. Okay. Let's click on this. Yeah, is click the try database and you can just enter your details. Let me do it for you guys so that you will be sorry. So here you will get your email and everything. Okay. So let's take something like your name, your email ID, your whatever title you can put XYZ and the country and let's change something. Put your let me change to my other Gmail. Okay. And I think it should work. Continue. So you need to enter your first name, last name, your email. Company it could be XYG anything. Title anything you can put it. Doesn't matter whether you are working or not working. Put your phone number and your country. click on continue. So it will load here. Here, most important thing. When you continue, please careful observe here, guys. Okay. Now it is asking, let's choose a cloud provider. Whether you want to go with the AWS, whether you want to go with the Azure, or whether you want to go with the GCP. We are not going anywhere. We are not using, because if you use it, again the same procedure where this is the same one. It will be 14 days time. Okay, that we are not doing it. Make sense? Make sure that you will not select here. I'm repeating here again. It's audible?
Yes.
Guys.
Yes.
So what we will do here, just scroll down, slightly scroll down here, and there is an option called Get Started with Community Edition. That your clicking point would be. Okay? Get started with the community edition. If you click on that, then it will create verification, whatever things you can do it, and just finish up the registration. Okay? Make sense? Please do it this step. Don't click on a cloud for just click on the try community edition. And just click on the solve puzzle, verify, few steps here and there will be there. And finally it will be you can able to log in. So let me log into my account, which is already there at first. Yeah. Once you done it, it will be like something like community.clouddatabase.com. It will come up. Okay. And here, if you see this cloud engine, this will be come up for two things. Okay. One is data science and engineering, one is the machine learning. Because the database will be used for both the steps, data science engineering and ML also. But when you log in this from Azure Databricks, I will show you there will be another option will come up, which is called the SQL as well. That you will see. All right. Any questions? As of now, any questions you guys have? How to register yourself for the community edition of Databricks?
No.
Okay.
No.
Now, the most important thing is, as I told, the database is made of the Spark, and as I told you, I think on the notepad, let me go there. There are three parts to the uh, big data, right? One is your storage, one is your processing. So the processing part or the computing part is taken care by the Spark, right? I explained you that. Completely taken over by the Spark, right? The processing part. So to process the data, and database is nothing but is the Spark cluster only. So whenever you want to process something, then you should have a like and just don't upgrade also here. Okay? And whenever you want to work on any processing part, you should have a server, right? The cluster where you want to do it. So the main thing is click on this create, and you have a notebook, all these things. But I want to go to the computing for the compute. Okay, click on the compute, and here you can create a resource for you. Okay, and if you click on the create compute here, you just give a name for this, and it will give you some free memory, one driver of this of memory, two cores of this one. But when you go with the premium license for the Databricks, you can have n number of clusters. Okay, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, any number of clusters you can create your own. But since we are using your community edition, we can have a single cluster. But that is more than enough to get familiar with the database. Okay, so this is more important. So let's create the. Uh, so I would say I'm just creating a this one, and by default take it this way. Anything you can do, but let's default whatever is there. I'll create it. I'll create a create compute. It will take some time. Once my cluster is ready, then only I can start doing anything there. Okay, let it create it. Now I will go to the create button here. So this is your compute where you are storing it. Workflow we'll discuss later. If you click on the data, then it will be consist of the all the databases. If you have any databases here in the database, that will show it here, the data area. And workspace is how it looks like, the shared folder, user folders. Everything. Okay. Now what I will do, I will go to my shared workspace here and create a notebook. Now three things will be very much handy in database. First thing, we should know how to work on the Jupyter notebook. That's why on the last phase of Python, like the project, right? I use extensively Jupyter notebook, and I have asked you to use it as well, because when I come to the Databricks world and I start coding, everything looks like a notepad or Jupyter notebook only, because they inherited that features to the Databricks. So it should be all the notebooks only. Second, we need to know the Python and the SQL. This thing is very important. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll create a notebook. So it is more of a looks like a Jupyter notebook only, no? Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes.
Right? Exactly.
Yes.
You can create, yeah, you can take bottom down, insert a new cell, write your code, execute it, all these things you can do. Okay. And here most important thing, to run anything on this area, this cluster needs to be activated, which I created. Where I created? Inside the computer. This cluster needs to be activated. Otherwise, there is nothing. It is runtime. It is working. If this cluster is not working, then we can't run anything on the database, because it is a computing which is run the codes. Okay. And most important thing is, as I told you, the Spark can be written in multiple languages. Python, even on SQL, Scala, Java, and all. By default, it is saying that this is Python. See? But we can change it. We can change it to SQL, Scala, R, anything. We can change it. So we will see these two. By default, it's this network is default Python. That's why we learned extensively the Python. Now everything will be correlated. Okay. Now the stage is set. Whatever your backlog is there, please complete it, so that once I write something here, it should not be like a ghost for you. Okay. Makes sense, right, guys?
Yes.
This. This is the way, and from the top also you can select it. You can select Python, you can write select, SQL, or we'll see that how to load the data into this in this one. And one more thing, whenever you are, suppose today you are working, okay, since it's a community edition, no? Every time whenever coming you next time you are coming it, okay, please delete this cluster. I'm saying please delete this cluster and create one more time. Why? Because this is a community edition, and whatever the allocation is given, suppose you are on an idle state, right? So that will be deallocated for you, because you are on a community edition. Deallocated. Next time when you start executing your command, it will throw an error. Sometimes the cluster will not working. All these things. So what you will do, whenever you are coming to a community edition login, each and every time do a practice like that. Just delete the cluster, create the cluster, and start work. Make sense? This is
Yes.
not advisable for real-time application, but since we are using on a demo version, we need to do like that, because otherwise it will throw an error. Make sense? Are you good on this part? So this is the way, and I think we are pretty good to start up things. Guys, I'm saying very frankly, please, if you have a backlog of Python and SQL, please do it right now, because extensively we'll use the Python here, because that time I will not explain that this command is used for what, because it's more of a 95 97% I can the similarity between the Python and the PySpark. Okay, you know how to use the Jupyter notebook, you know Python, you know SQL. I think it should be very much straightforward for you to work on the database. Make sense? What are two things you need to do? First of all, log into the portal.azure.com, the free license. Just make it there. Don't do anything there. Okay. Second thing is just sign up for the database community edition and make it handy. By the tomorrow, it should be work. You should be on this. If you are not, we'll see. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I am done for today.